It was a crisp morning when Karen decided to escalate her meddling again. This time, she targeted my dock, convinced she could assert HOA authority over it. Apparently, she believed that simply showing up and shouting threats would grant her control over a structure I legally owned and maintained. I was on the property, preparing the dock for a weekend family gathering, when I noticed her SUV parked at the edge of the driveway. She stepped out, clipboard in hand, scanning the dock with a self-satisfied expression. Her stance screamed confidence, as if she owned the place herself. "I'm here to inspect the dock," she announced loudly. "This is HOA property. You cannot use it without approval." I looked up from my work, calm and composed. "Karen," I said evenly, "this dock is private property. I own it, maintain it, and decide who uses it. Your HOA rules have no jurisdiction here. Any attempt to enforce them will be considered trespassing." She sneered. "You can't just ignore the rules. I'm calling the police." I raised a hand. "Go ahead, but I've already informed the local authorities about your pattern of harassment. Any interference with this property will be met with full legal action." Karen stomped toward the dock, waving her clipboard like a weapon, fully expecting me to step aside. But I had anticipated this. A silent signal activated the dock's security system. Automatic locks engaged, cameras swiveled to capture every angle, and motion sensors were ready. Any attempt to cross the threshold would be recorded and documented. Before she could make a move, the local sheriff arrived, summoned by my prior warning. He quickly surveyed the property and confirmed the ownership documents I had prepared. Turning to Karen, he said firmly, "Ma'am, this is private property. The resident has full rights to the dock. Any attempt to enforce HOA rules here is considered trespassing. You must leave immediately." Karen froze. Her face turned pale as her bravado collapsed. She had expected compliance, fear, or at least some acknowledgement of her authority. But none of that happened. Instead, she was confronted by law, evidence, and undeniable property rights. By mid-morning, Karen had retreated, muttering threats and complaints, clearly shaken by her failure. Neighbors who had observed the scene whispered among themselves, impressed by how swiftly and decisively the situation had been neutralized. Later, I reviewed the security footage, ensuring that every attempt, gesture, and word was documented. This created a permanent record that could be used in court if necessary, further discouraging any future interference. By evening, the dock was calm, the lake reflecting the sunset, and my family able to enjoy the property without fear of harassment. Karen's reputation as an overconfident meddler had suffered another blow. Her attempt to control property she did not own had been completely thwarted, reinforcing the lesson that preparation, legal authority, and calm decisiveness always triumph over audacity and entitlement. The story spread quickly through the neighborhood. Karen had tried to seize control of a legally owned dock, only to be stopped immediately. Once again, property rights, foresight, and strategic action had neutralized her attempts at intimidation. By nightfall, the property was secure, my family protected, and Karen had been reminded, yet again, that entitlement and audacity cannot prevail against law, planning, and decisive authority.